Okay, hello everyone. So this is LAX 2051, and today we are doing our group discussion number 4, where we are going to discuss about our main learnings, realization, and experience after the workshop with our students. So before that, we'll introduce ourselves first. So my name is Fong Hor Yeng. My matrix number is 206132, and I'm currently studying Bachelor of Science in Food Studies.
Hello everyone. So my name is Yoo Kee with matrix numbers 197310. So I'm from Faculty of Science, Industrial Chemistry. So yeah, pass the next.
Hello everyone, I'm Poh Jia Ling and my matrix number is 201260. So I'm from Faculty of Science as well.
Hello everyone, my name is Nur Aminah Arifin. My matric number 196531. I'm from Faculty of Human Ecology.
Hi everyone, this is Shwu Fei, matric number 203654. Year 2 of Biomedical Science students from Faculty of Medicine and Health Science.
All right, so without further ado, we just discuss about our main learnings on our experience after we held our workshop with our students. So for me, right, I think my main learning is that I realized the teaching the teaching method is very important. Like in order to make a workshop successful, we will need to have several methods to keep the students focused and also keep them interested in what are we going to teach. So for example, if the tone of speaker is too monotonous or is low in energy, and then the students will probably feel the same way, and then they will probably not be interested to join the upcoming workshops again. And then another learning is that the relevancy of the content of the workshop for the students. So I think the content should be delivered in ways that are easily for students to understand. Like we can show them more examples for them to able to relate to what we teach them. Yeah, and then my experience after holding the workshop with our students is that I'm actually very happy and proud of the volunteers. Like when I see the students, they're actually enjoying all the sessions, and then they also provide us with good feedbacks, and they also keep the engagement ongoing with us. Yeah, and they are also asking quite a lot of questions that they don't understand. So I think it's a great job done for the volunteers who organize the workshops. Yeah, and the students are also working hard, like they are putting effort in our challenge, and overall I think I feel satisfied with the outcome of the workshops. Yeah, thank you.
And I do agree with your realizations, and then yeah, the I think also like for the relevancies of the workshops that towards students is very important, because like if not relevant, so they won't listen, and then they just the most surprisingly, the things that I have see in our workshop is like students able to answer during the workshop, and then it's like actually I'm expected that like I foresee some of students, like because this is the virtual learnings and then virtual classroom, they might just left the AFK, like they might just left the laptops and then they go somewhere else. But then surprisingly, students tends to ask questions, tends to reply all the single questions that been asking by the FASI, by the volunteers. So I think it's very like surprise things, and then these are the things I want to share. And then the main learnings that I think of is like rather than the how we want to engage with students, I think it's the collaborations of the volunteers. they have, because one workshop is handled by 5 volunteers, and then they actually have a very good communication skills between each others, because they can work with each others very complement each other. And then the flow is very good. So I think one of the things that I want to point out is the main learning I have learned from these workshops that I have organized is like collaborations, communications between each others. So also is the engagement with the audience. We want to know our audience first before we go into the workshop, because we want to talk the things that is they understand, not we understand, but then we want to fit their needs. And then these the things that is my main learning as well. And then I feel very great and then very grateful when the students have filled out the feedback form, which is like, thank you, Fessie, and then thank you for your hard work. I really learned when I saw the feedback, is that I really learned a lot from these workshops. I feel very happy because our efforts has been recognized, and then students really learn some things from our workshops. So I think this is my experience, and then for other things, yeah. So I'll pass to the next.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so I think for me, like, the realization I get is that communication is actually very important. Not be just like Yoo Kee said, between the volunteers working within the workshop team. Like, without the communication, they won't be able to pull out such a successful workshop. But at the same time, I feel like communication is important also when they are talking to the students, because they have to speak in a way where it keeps the student engaged. Whereas if, let's say, similarly to what Hor Yeng said, if they said speak in a very monotonous way or something, the students will more probably not feel interested, or they may just sleep off or something. So I think that's one of the very important things, like to have good communication and good intonation in order to keep the students engaged. And then the second thing is that I think the workshops have to be simple, but at the same time interesting, so that students can easily understand the content. Because one is that it's a virtual thing, right? So no matter how we try to explain virtually, I feel like in some ways it does not equal to explaining it to them physically. Like, they might still miss some points and all that. So I think that's one of the things I like, keeping it simple, but at the same time interesting enough so that we are able to capture their attention. And also, one thing is that I realize, maybe it's because it's virtual, or the students don't know the rest of them yet. So I read some of them maybe they feel a bit scared to speak up, or they feel like they have to hold themselves back because they're not comfortable. So I'm actually very proud at the volunteers who have been able to, slowly coach this student to speak up and voice their opinions. And I think for like my main learning is that in order for our workshops to be successful, right, it requires teamwork, because these are things that the volunteers or even us as the organizing committee won't be able to handle if we were working alone, because it takes a lot of preparation and then just planning and all that. So yeah, that's for me.
Yeah, I also agree with what all of you said. And then after the workshop, one thing that I realized, proper planning is very important in planning the workshop, because we need to have a backup plan. Because during the workshop, right, is the virtual things, and then probably there's a lot of like technical issue that happens that we cannot predict. So we need to have a proper plan. And then one thing also, what I realized after the workshop is the importance of like classroom management, because it's a virtual, and then sometimes students unmute their mic without realize, and then there's a lot of like background noise happen around the classroom. So the FASI and then also we as the organizing community need to know how to handle the classroom. And then sometimes when we use Zoom session, there are students who are actually writing something on the slide, so we don't know how to control the classroom. Yeah, so that's what I learned. And then the third thing that I learned after the workshop, I think the professionalism of us as an educator, even though we are not a teacher, but then because we actually deliver knowledge to the students, we need to show our reliability towards them, to need to have trust. We need to show that we actually capable enough in delivering knowledge to the students, so that the students have the kind of trust that they can actually learn from us, not only as a volunteer but also as an organizing community. Yeah, that's all.
All right. So for me, actually, my main learning, I will divide it into a few parts, but I will conclude in one sentence, like always expect the unexpected things to happen. Yeah. So the first one is actually like the flow of the virtual volunteer participants. Actually, like they learn from the others that is professional in teaching, and then like from all those trainer sessions, and then they learn from them and learn all those the teaching methods, their how to speak when they are delivering the session, all those intonation, all that things. And the second part will be after learning, they need to plan out how to organize the workshop, and then they need to expect how to prepare the best experience um for the participants of the workshop as well. And the next part is prepare according to what they have planned. And during the process of preparation, they need to always giving feedbacks to each other, and then telling each other like what is the things to be improved and what is the things going on well and need to be maintained for the next uh, for for the better experience of the participants. And the next one is implementation. And during implementation, actually, is the phrase that always happens something unexpected and something on the like very spontaneous. And this is very challenging for the participants as well. And lastly, uh, as a culture, after every workshops and after every rehearsals or wet run or even dry run of the workshop of the preparation of the workshop, they will have the feedback space or even they will send out all those feedbacks form for everyone, so that they will have better they will give suggestions or ideas for improvement, all those. Yeah, so my main learning from the workshop after a few workshop actually is always expect the unexpected things. Yep. And then one more things that I learned from the virtual and participants actually is uh the we always need to simplify the we need to transfer the knowledge from our side to the students, and in the process we need to simplify our language and vocabs also. Yeah, so that's all for my part. Maybe I will pass to Chloe. Do you have anything to add on? Yeah.
I guess I just want to add on a bit about, like the attitude of the volunteers are like, I feel at the same, while they have to maintain their professionalism in order to, like Mina said, be a reliable source of knowledge for the students and to be able to gain the students' respect. But at the same time, I think like it's also important to show the side where they can treat us as their friend, so that they are able to voice their concerns if they have any problems or anything. Because if we maintain like a face that is like too much of a professional face, then they might feel like, okay, if they're talking to a teacher, are they allowed to tell their teachers about this problem or that problems that they may face? So I feel like as a friend, it'd be easier for them to come to us and just, let us know if they have any issues that they may face or stuff like that. So that's all I have to add.
Okay, so thank you everyone for sharing your realization and experience after holding the workshop with the students. And yeah, I agree with all of you that we actually need to have good communication skills, and then the teaching method, and then also the reliability, and then the relevance towards the topic. All of these are actually important. So I think that's all for our video today, and then we'll see each other in the next video. Okay, bye.
Bye bye. Thank you.
Bye. Thanks, everyone.